Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing great. So this is my first vlog in a series of OG gangsters and combat war veterans. So I got this idea for starting a vlog. I know I grew up in El Paso, Texas. That's where I joined the army, and I went to the Gulf War, Desert Storm, the Gulf War gangster, and so I grew up in El Paso, Texas, in a very gang infested area, the central part of El Paso, Texas. It's always been one of the rougher areas in the city. And at that particular time and area, it produced a lot of cartel members. Very violent area. So with that, I I moved to El Paso when I was like 7, 8 years old, and became a little thug. And I grew up gangster as I grew older, and then OG, and joined the military. When dropped out of ninth grade, and went to Job Corps, got a GD, and then joined the army. I knew I had to get out of El Paso because after seeing friends die from gang violence, and I knew I had to get out of there. So joined the army and went to Desert Storm, the Gulf War. While I was there, combat war vet. So we got bombed. Well, we didn't get bombed. They were trying to bomb us with. Well, we got a lot of Scud attacks. Got bombed with a lot of Scuds. And the chemicals in the Scuds. Chemical alarms kept going off, and then um, immediately after that, we were given forced to take illegal experimental shots, anthrax and botulism shots, and I was facing court martial or firing squad for refusing to take them. They called my parents, and my parents begged me to take them. My mother, who's passed away now, she begged me to take them. So I took them, and immediately after that, everybody was sick for like 2 weeks. Flu like symptoms. And I've had that ever since then. Now I have stage 4 cancer. But I've had these symptoms ever since those shots. And the chemical alarms kept going off, and they wouldn't shut off. The alarm wouldn't stop, so the commander had all the batteries confiscated. So I mean, grew up on the streets of El Paso. Like, I was already 10 years old. My dad would leave for months at a time, and I ran the streets. My ex brother in law, he was a heroin addict at the time, and I was about 10 years old, driving around station wagon full of heroin addicts, looking for heroin. Looking for crimes to commit to get money for heroin. So I grew up in a very heroin infested area, very violent area, and very heroin infested. And like I say, it was a lot of gang involvement and a lot of gang activity. And most of that, I went to junior high there in the central. It was the worst. It was the worst school in the city, an alternative school, and almost everybody from that class that I went to alternative with is dead or in prison or they're cartel members, and most of them are in the cartel. And the guys I grew up with, fought against. They Many of them are dead now, but they joined cartel affiliated gangs in El Paso. Very violent. One of the, I think, probably the most violent prison gang in America, in the U.S., at least the U.S. Um, and in that area breeds those members. So I can speak on being an OG. I can speak on being a combat war vet, and I can tell you that parents, my parents had no idea. My parents were working full time. My dad was out of state, and they had no idea what I was doing, what was going on. And eventually, my mom's passed away, but I'll interview my dad for you all to get his perspective. Some ideas that how he felt. I share a lot with him now. I'm very open with him, so I tell him some stories about how I grew up, and he was like he had no idea, and he had no idea what kind of area it was. He didn't even realize how bad it was, and now people tell him, and like I say, it's very cartel connected over there, and I tell him these stories, and he's like, wow, he blows his mind. I think so. I was always honest with my mom. My mom knew a lot about me. She probably knew more about me than anybody. I was always sharing stories and cops chasing me, and times I thought I was shot, and she seen me almost killed, beat at least one guy to death almost. So yeah, my mom seen me. She's helped me. Like she smuggled some marijuana for me because I was getting arrested and I had a lot of marijuana on me, and she took it, and I don't know what she did. She gave it to me when I got out, I think. But yeah, my mom was very aware of my activities as I got older. When I got older, I would tell her my stories. So I know one thing my mom would say is when I went to war, my mom had dark hair, full dark hair. When I came back, her hair was completely white. Um, so I know she stressed out a lot while I was over there. I know she worried and prayed a lot. People would sit next to her at church. She would put her Bible and she would tell people that's Paul's chair. He's gonna sit there when he comes back. And I did. When I came back, I went to church with them. Then I got out, and then I recently went back to church. Almost died of COVID, Omicron, and stage 4 cancer, but cancer's undetectable now. So yeah, this vlog, this channel is gonna be for OGs, gangsters, original gangsters, OGs, and what that means for those who don't know is that's somebody who's killed somebody. You've killed somebody. If you're an OG, and you've put people on the ground, and combat war vet. You've seen action. I've seen action. Actually, I was shot at more in El Paso, Texas, and during the war. I'll tell you that. And so that's my war story is the chemicals and the shots. That's the war story I'll give you. My experience in wartime, and a lot of soldiers died. I'm suffering from it. I've been suffering from it since the 1991. So yeah, that's my story from the war, and or at least one of them, that I'd like to share. And as far as an OG, I was very young. I started fighting on the streets of El Paso at 8 years old. I went to 6 different elementary schools, um, 6 different neighborhoods across the city, from nice to very bad, and just grew up running the streets with. My parents had no idea what I was doing. They were working. They were making an honest living, and I was a little thug. I was a little thug. And when Tupac says "thug for life," it's true. Like I have thug tendencies. I fight them every day. I fight, the urge to steal, to beat people up, to be a thug. It's an urge when you grew up that way. My grandfather grew up that way. He was an orphan from Mexico, and he was raised in El Paso, Texas. Started fighting, dancing, smoking marijuana, and playing pool at 9 years old. And I started fighting at 8. And then I started doing drugs about 10, 11. I was arrested about 11 years old. And like I say, I've had friends, so I'll tell you a gang story here. One night, okay, which one will I tell? One night, we're partying. Some guys pulled up, and we were in my neighborhood, my barrio, and some guys from a very, very violent neighborhood pulled up. one of the most violent neighborhoods in El Paso. That's where these guys were from, and we didn't know this. They just pulled up talking smack, being bullies. There were bigger guys, and there were a few of us and only a couple of them, and but they were very big. And I asked them, "Hey, man, just go, leave, leave, we don't want no problems." And they got in my face, and I was like, "Look, guys, just leave, man." Wouldn't leave, and I finally told them, "Look, leave before you get hurt." And they were asking if I was threatening them. And next thing I know, their eyes got real big, and I looked back. All my homeboys, all my bros were coming out from the backyard, and I told them again, "You better leave real quick, dude, real quick, guys. You guys better get the fuck out of here." And they wouldn't leave. So long story short, they got beat severely, and one escaped. We threw another one in the car, told them to get out. He came back. They came back about, it took about an hour for them to go back, or about 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. They came back with some OGs, some what we call veteranos, veterans, gangster veterans that have been there and done that. So veterano OG, right? They came back, and I knew one of the guys that came back with. I went to school with him. Yeah, like I said, I went to school with a lot of killers, and he was one of them. And he was calling me. He was like, "Hey, come here." And I was like, "Nah, man, like, I'm not going over there." I knew what was going on. And he came with a bunch of older guys, killers, straight killers. And I was like, "Nah, you want to talk to me? Come over here." And long story short, for this is that my friend was like, "I'll come over there," and he said, "Well, come over here then." So as my friend walked over there, I walked with my friend, thinking I can't let my friend die alone. So followed my bro, and those guys took off running. And then as we followed them, we ran after them. Everyone from the party, all the barrio jumped. They jumped in and ran to to beat those guys too. And they made it to their car. The veterans of veteranos and my homeboy from the other gang. He made it to the car, and they pulled out the car and started shooting at us. And me and my bro were way ahead of everybody. So as we were running, we stopped in our tracks, and they just started shooting all the guys. And they were shooting all the guys that we were chasing. Stopped and grabbed their guns and were shooting at us. So we stopped, and you can just hear bullets whizzing by in between us, on the side of us, and like all around. I don't know how we didn't get shot. It just ding 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 ding, and I heard it hit to the right of me, to the left of me, and behind me. So um, they jumped in the car and left, and then 3 days later, that guy, my homeboy from that gang that shot at us, ended up shooting one of my other homeboys from a different gang. Killed him. I think homecoming or prom. I can't remember. I got chemo brain and all that. But anyway, he killed him. We were all like, I think ninth grade, so we were like probably 15, 16, and I was about 17 because I flunked a few times, 18. And the guy that shot at me, and a few days later shot a mutual friend and homeboy, gangster, very very gangster, and he shot him in front of this homeboy's fiance, pregnant fiance. So this guy shot him, and then in front of everybody, killed him. Shot him probably 6 times. Guy kept getting up, running, shoot him again. Got up, ran, shot him. Got up, ran, hit under a trailer, and that's when this guy just went and finished him off under the trailer in front of everybody. He gave the gun to his homeboy that was already wanted for murder. So that guy went to prison for murder, and this guy that actually shot, he only went to county for a few months. So those are the stories. Like I have more stories, of course, but looking back at it all, people trying to kill me trying to kill people, and the thing was, we're doing it over territory, the barrio, and my parents were renting that house, so I'm risking my life and trying to kill people over this neighborhood that my parents were renting. They didn't even own the house that we lived in, so this was all for nothing. So many lives lost, so many lives ruined over nothing, nothing. And as soon as that homeboy got murdered, all his homeboys and friends and bros, they quit claiming that gang. the next day. They didn't retaliate. They didn't do anything. They just X themselves out of that gang. And yeah, it's a trip. You know, now some of them are law enforcement and stuff. So that's how I grew up. That's where I grew up, and it wasn't worth it. That's as a kid, that was my goal, to go to prison, kill somebody, and just be a gangster and a heroin addict. That was my goal as a child. Looking up to these guys, and it wasn't worth it. Because most of these gangsters, they live with their girlfriend or their mom or their family. They don't have their own homes, or they don't have cars. They don't have really anything. They sell drugs to survive and just to get high, and that's basically their lives. So I'm glad I got out of there. I'm glad I joined Job Corps, got out of there. And the military, same thing. I wouldn't recommend it to any child, any kid. Stay in school, go to college, stay in sports, become a musician, do anything other than the military. Because I know I got fucked over, and I know other people that have got fucked over. You know, I know guys got blown up and shot and everything. Like, and you know, they're screwed. They have a rough time living, um, and they love their country, but I know they regret going. I regret going. It was not worth it. When I came back sick and hurt and all that, the country turned their back on me and called me a liar and blah blah blah, accused me of faking and everything under the book. It's not worth it. Stay in school. Don't join a gang. It's not worth it. You're gonna see loved ones get murdered and shot, and and it's not worth it. Not for a territory. The government owns that territory. Even if your parents own that house that you live in, they pay taxes to the government to live there, and if they don't pay taxes, government will throw them out. So what are you really fighting over? Something that happened many, many, many generations ago, that you don't even know what the original story is. Why that barrio hates that barrio? You don't really even know anymore. It's just a pride thing. If you want to fight, join boxing, get in MMA, jiu-jitsu, fight there, make a lot of money doing it. Don't join no gang, man. It's not worth it. I'm telling you right now. And any OGs have a problem with me saying that, they could come see me. And your OG, we'll go toe to toe. I got stage 4 cancer. I got really nothing to lose, but we'll go toe to toe. If you have an issue with me telling these kids not to join gangs, anyone has a problem with that, we go toe to toe, man. And we'll see what's up. So, and if really, we'll skip that. If you're that fucking badass, go with me where I go. We'll go on a little tour. You come with me. If you survive, then I'll apologize and shake your hand. But till that day, don't doubt me. Don't fucking come at me. Don't fucking think you're gonna scare me or intimidate me. That don't happen. Don't happen. I'm a fucking gangster and a fucking combat war vet. Trained fighter. I'm a boxing coach. I've taught boxers to punch, and they've killed people in and out of the ring. Several of them. So don't come at me thinking, whatever you're thinking in your head. Don't think that. I'm not the one to try. I'm not the one to try to scare, or try to intimidate, or try to impress. Really. So this is my message to the kids, man. Stay in school, get that education, make sure you graduate, and then go to college. Boxers, you could get a boxing scholarship. Go to college for boxing or different sports, anything really. Um, Drawing, you could get scholarships for almost any talent, any gift that you have. Use it. Being left-handed, there's scholarships. So stay in school, get your education, and that my advice. Don't join the military. Free college. It's not. You might get blown up and dead, or come back all fucked up in your head or your body. It's not worth the free college. Trust me. Free food, trust me, it's shitty. Don't fall for that shit. Get your education. Yeah, it works out for some people and all that, but you never know. You might not be the one. You might be the one that comes back fucked up and hurt, and paralyzed and all that, crippled. So missing a limb or severe PTSD, it's not worth it. Same thing with gangs, not worth it. They're both the same. The military and prison, same thing. Someone's always telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and someone's always trying to kill your ass. So neither one of those are worth it. And you might think, oh, I'm a fighter, I'm a fighter. Well, again, if you're a fighter, if you're that fucking tough, that badass, and that brave, you're a warrior, you're a fucking, badass, right? Then box or do MMA or something. Do karate, man. Do it there. Fight like that. Make that money doing it, man. And then, then you're a fucking badass. Then you're a fucking OG. Then you're a gangster. When you can fucking do it with your hands, you're a fucking gangster. So it's not about, committing crimes. It's not about killing people. That's easy shit, man. Once you get past the conscience of it, it's easy shit. Anyone can shoot somebody. It's fucking easy and it's pathetic. It's cowardly. Let me see with your hands. Let me see what you do with them hands. Like bam, 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 right? Shit. So stay in school, y'all. So I'm gonna end this, and I've got some OGs, some coming up with their stories and their advice for young children. I don't know what they're gonna tell us. Um, Many of them are still in prison, serving hard time. Very connected. Ex leaders and members and ex members of these. I'd say the USA's most violent prison gang. So we're gonna get their stories and I'm gonna do my best to interview their families and get the families' side of the story, how they felt when these guys got locked up. How they felt when they found out he was locked up for killing somebody or the horrific crimes they've committed. How did their families feel? How did the mothers feel or father feel hearing that? How did their wives or kids feel for not having them around? And their children growing up without a father. How did their brothers and sisters feel? How did they feel? Would they do it again? Because from all the gangsters I know, the OGs, they regret what they've done. They wouldn't do it again, especially as they get older, 50, 60, and all that. They regret it. They regret it, and now they're stuck in that life. And then after a while, they're really useless to everybody, and it's a sad thing. So I'm trying to help them before they reach that. I'm trying to help them with this channel, or generate the revenue. Go viral with the videos and send them that money. That way, when they get out, they don't have to kill anyone. Because I do know killers. I know killers, sicarios, assassins, and same thing. Get the vlogs from sicarios in El Paso, in Juarez, Mexico, assassins in Juarez, Mexico. Get their stories, their parents' stories, or kids' stories, and then I'm gonna do it with combat vets too. I'm gonna interview combat vets, get their stories, and then interview their parents, their families, ask how they felt, when their son was shipped off the war. How did they feel every night worrying about their son or daughter? How they felt worrying about their father, when he's in combat or not gone for that long, when he's gone on a tour that long, how his wife felt, So this is the first of the vlogs, and it's my vlog as a gangster, as an OG, a veterano, and as a combat war vet. Um, that's one of my stories and my advice to kids again, and this is why I'm doing it for the children. So stay in school, all right. Get that diploma, get that degree, and then you could do whatever you want after that. And use your talents, use your gifts. If you can draw, if you can sing, if you can fight, you can make billions of dollars with that. Pursuing that, and applying it in the right way. Instead of getting my age and regretting all the pain you've caused, all the destruction, all the lives you've taken and destroyed that aren't ever coming back. When you get my age, it'll haunt you. It'll haunt you every time, every night, you blink your eyes, it's gonna haunt you, and that's what you don't hear. You know, fuck jail, fuck prison, fuck dying and all that. It's living with the regrets that you'll have, knowing that when you hold your grandson knowing that you killed somebody's former grandfather or future grandfather, somebody's son, somebody's that's not ever coming back, and that's gonna be on your conscience for the rest of your life, and it's a horrible thing. That's where people end up on drugs or killing themselves or committing more murders, because it becomes an addiction. And finding Jesus is the other route. That's the route I've taken, and it's not always the route I took, but that's the route I've decided to take. Especially almost after dying of recently, almost dying of COVID and cancer, I've decided to give my life to Jesus and sweat lodges, Native American sweat lodges, and accepting Jesus as my savior. Those two things, they finally give me peace. I still feel bad for what I've done. It's tough. It's hard, and it's always gonna be. And I'm just telling you, don't do it, man. Find a different way, man. Find a different way to live, thrive, succeed. All right, don't take a life, man. Don't ever take a life. That's the scummiest, most pathetic thing you could ever do, unless it's in serious self-defense of your loved ones. There's no reason to do it. You want to fight. You want to prove how brave you are. Get in a ring. Get in a cage. Do it there. And if you can't fight physically, fight with a tennis ball. Get in tennis, basketball, football, something. Draw, sing, poetry, something. Fight that way. All right. Don't be a sheep and follow the rest of the crowd into the gang like the other cattle and the other sheep. Nah, be independent. Be strong and show the world what you have, your talents and your gifts. That's my recommendation. That's my suggestion, my advice. I pray to God that you do the right thing. I know you look up to these war vets or these gangsters, and you got to hear the other side of the story. They're not going to tell you. They're going to tell you, oh, it's cool. Yeah, join the army. Yeah, join the gang. That because they want misery loves company. They're going to encourage you, even though at night they can't sleep, even though they don't sleep anymore from the guilt, from the everything, the PTSD that comes with it. They don't talk about that. All right, a killer comes with PTSD. Killing comes with PTSD and guilt that you won't you spend the rest of your life trying to escape. It's not worth it. There's no going back from it. It is not worth it. Be young, be a kid, enjoy your life, man. Spread love, help other people. That's gangster. Helping other people other than yourself, changing the world and making it a better place. That's gangster. That time for fighting each other, that's gone. Those times are gone. Killing each other over territory that doesn't belong to any of us, those days are gone. They keep us down that way. The black, the white, the Mexican, they keep us down that way and make us drop out and blah. The poor white, the poor black, the poor Chicanos, Native Americans, they keep us down like that. Keep us at each other's throats. Be smarter than that. Quit fighting each other. We're all the same. We're all related. We're all God's children. So, forgiveness, forgiveness, forgive each other. All right. I now talk to people that I try to kill and try to kill me. Now they're on my Facebook page, and for what were we trying to kill each other for? Thank God we didn't. We tried like hell, but thank God none of us succeeded because we're still here now. And I'm here to tell you it's not worth it. I'm glad I failed at all those guys I seriously tried to kill. I failed, and I'm glad. I'm so glad for all the guys that I wasn't able to kill. Thank God, because now they can help me tell you it's not worth it. Some of those guys murdered people. They got turned in by their own homeboys, their own bros, their own families. It's not worth it. They spent so many years in prison, not raising their kids, not kissing their wives goodnight, making love to their wives. No, instead they're locked up with a bunch of guys. They regret it. Now they can't get jobs. They're my age and they have no money, no nothing. And it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Don't get in there. Don't get involved. Stay away. Stay in school. Right? Get a job. There's different ways to make millions, and that's by using your gifts. All right. So don't get involved. Don't join the military. Don't join a gang. All right. Stay in school. Use your brain. Use your talents and your gifts. That's my advice. My suggestion. And I pray to God you all listen. So again, this video, this vlog, this channel, you'll hear stories of other OGs, other killers, other combat vets, um, and their families. So have a good day, a great night, great day, wherever you're at in the world. Peace, love. God bless you, and please like, subscribe, share, and let's try to save these kids from making our mistakes. If you're a real gangster, a real OG, a real war vet, a real hero, then help save these kids from making our same mistakes. There's better ways. Let's stop wars. Let's stop fights. We can do it. All right. Help each other, love each other, forgive each other. Think, how does God view you? You're a child of God. You're a child of the Creator. How does the Creator view you? You're precious to Him. And so we got to be precious to each other too. All right. So treat the earth and all animals, trees, treat them precious because they're all precious to God, the Creator, the Great Spirit. So I want to leave you with that. And stay tuned again. Like the channel, subscribe, please share, and comment. So stay awesome. God bless. All right. Peace.